It's the same as last year. We can talk about genuine features and game modes later, but the gameplay is the glue that ties it all together. And I have to admit, this is probably the best FIFA's gameplay has ever been. It's hard to compare this entry to games like 6 or 10 because they were released in a completely different era and had different expectations. But I'm happy to report that FIFA 21 has made me less frustrated than I've ever been in recent years playing FIFA. As you may have heard, the main change is that manual defending is a lot easier, and your AI will be worse at doing these tasks for you. But that's it. Sure, you can scurry over to EA.com and they'll tell you that FIFA 21 introduces agile dribbling and creative runs, but it's all a load of bollocks. It's hard for me to comprehensively convince you that these additions aren't there, but the game feels like FIFA 20 at a slightly slower pace and with harder defending. Of course, balancing changes are present. For example, crossing is actually viable now, but they are more than expected. You'll still get pissed off when a pass goes to the wrong intended player, or when your AI teammates make runs when they should be coming short, and vice versa. These issues have been prevalent for ages now, and seemingly we're going another year without any genuine improvements. Even the more attacking based gameplay was present in older FIFAs. This isn't new or revolutionary, it's just a return to form. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to only slightly improve your gameplay from one game to the next. But that's assuming your gameplay is very good, and you're close to perfecting your formula. FIFA isn't that, and that's why it's yet again disappointing that I can only report that the gameplay is fine. Ah yes, career mode. Growing up, this was pretty much all I played on FIFA. Career mode is effectively a simulation of real life football, and you're the one steering the ship. Long was this mode forgotten by EA, understandably so. However, like Activision responding to the backlash regarding advanced movement, it seems that EA have realised that the negativity associated with career mode was hurting the FIFA brand, and as a result, we've got some new features to discuss. The interactive match sim is actually something I talked about in my FIFA and Football Manager video. It's really nice to have this in the game, as simulating a match the old way was quite annoying and felt disconnected from your actions. Now you can influence the match on the go, or even jump in to affect it through actual gameplay. Player development has been revamped, with effectively the introduction of proper individual training. Now you can train players into new positions and their role in that position. It'd be nice to have some of these roles explained to more casual fans, but other than that, this is a welcome improvement. Another new feature is match sharpness. There's a reason it takes a few matches for footballers to get up to speed. Whilst their fitness could be perfect, that match edge is only earned through playing games. Except in FIFA 21 it's earned by training. I like the principle of this feature, but its implementation is awful. Players should increase their match sharpness from, you guessed it, playing matches, not training. Training is for fitness, and for career mode, that's really it. There are one or two small things, such as scheduling options, and you can now loan to buy players, but the shallow experience, for the most part, remains shallow. Press conferences, post-match interviews, and the youth system are still disgracefully underdeveloped. The UI is still a bit of a mess, and the club objectives are still vague and absurd. To top it all off, during my Liverpool save, Barcelona tried to sign James Milner on loan. All in all, career mode in FIFA 21 is an improvement, but we needed a revamp. Volta is a massive waste of time, resources, and development. EA were obviously trying to rekindle the FIFA Street spirit with Volta, but that game was far more wacky and arcade. This is FIFA gameplay on a smaller scale, and it's absolutely terrible to experience. If you take control of the team, your AI teammates will make runs when you don't want them to, and come short when you want to slip them in behind, just like normal gameplay. Volta is far more punishing than normal FIFA because of the lack of fixed goalkeepers and size of the pitch. Every attack can turn into a goal scoring opportunity for the opposition. This sounds fun, but the gameplay is anything but. Even if your AI teammate is in goal, any shots will more than likely rebound off them and straight back to the attacker. Seriously, what is my goalkeeper doing here? If you decide to just take control of your character, you're relying on your teammates to defend and make informed decisions, which they can't. Let's take a look at this scenario. My intention here is to do a 1-2 with green so I can get past white. Blue has come short as a second option, but I'm going to ignore her and pass to green. Fair play to green, she has seen my run and played the 1-2. Except look at blue, she is pretty much attempting to make the same run as me. So green has played the pass, and this is my fault. Red anticipated the pass and has intercepted it. In any normal scenario, blue would still be here, and red wouldn't have an open shot on goal. In fact, he may even have to get by green before he can generate a good chance to score. Except blue has left her goal completely exposed, and the other team score. As a player, there is absolutely nothing I can do to prevent blue making such an idiotic run, but this is typical from the AI of FIFA 21. I'll admit, playing 5v5 Volta was a little more enjoyable, but this mode will soon be made irrelevant due to lack of interest and poor design, just like FIFA's hilarious attempt to create a story mode with the journey. I mentioned EA.com and their list of features before, and if you're eagle-eyed you may notice a game mode missing from these features: Pro Clubs. This is one of the most enjoyable and engaging modes FIFA has to offer. Whether you play a drop-in match or have 10 other friends to form a team, Pro Clubs brings personality and purpose to FIFA's gameplay. So what new features have been introduced this year to bring Pro Clubs to the next level? Well, you can customize your AI teammates now, and there are more tactical options for your club. That's it. Yep, and considering Pro Clubs got ignored last year, is it any surprise it's been shafted this year? We can joke about FIFA being the same game every year, but with regards to Pro Clubs, it's no joke, it's genuine. This cash cow actually might deserve its own video. I'm going to hold back my bias and not discuss the ethical and moral implications of Ultimate Team, so let's talk about gaming terms instead. Ultimate Team is pay to win, not something that looks like changing anytime soon. If you enjoy getting destroyed by someone's wallet, then this mode is for you. Of course, it's been like this for ages now, but what's different this time around? Well, you can now play Ultimate Team with a friend, which is definitely a nice feature. Whether or not it'll be utilised remains to be seen. I have a number of friends who play Ultimate Team religiously, and not one of them has mentioned co-op yet. Small sample size, I understand, but at least the feature is there. There are some new customization options, in particular for your stadium. Again, not something that'll be cherished by the community, but it's present, so no complaints here. And according to EA.com, streamlined club management, including removal of fitness items, lets you spend more time playing and less time managing your squad. Now, I find this hilarious because FIFA here are seemingly advocating you to play FIFA over managing the game in a menu. And I completely agree. Playing a game is so much more fun than performing tasks. That's why we play games. Yet there's an argument to be made that you'll spend more time in the menus managing your squad, doing SBCs, buying and selling players, opening packs, applying contracts, etc., than you will actually playing the game. And this wouldn't be so bad if the UI wasn't absolute dog shit, but it is. Accepting rewards from completing objectives arguably takes longer than completing the objectives themselves. There is no option to say accept all rewards or list all your items on the transfer market. Every time you open a pack, there's a casino-like animation, and sometimes you don't care and you just want the cards in your club and to move on to your next task. Couple that with how slow the UI is, and you'll do everything you can to spend the least amount of time possible in the menus, which unfortunately is a large part of building your team. FIFA 21 is another FIFA game. It won't surprise you, it won't finally introduce that long-awaited change, or do anything unique or creative to impress anyone but a casual football fan. Yet for so many people, that's fine. That's enough to buy it again next year without question, without any consideration for the experience they are receiving. Some of my friends said that they were done, that FIFA was no longer something that they fell low enough to purchase. And yet, many have pulled a U-turn and bought it anyway, because it's FIFA. It's a routine purchase. That's why I gave up on this franchise years ago, because with such a huge market to sell to, there's no chance of anything meaningful being changed, especially if that market is willing to buy the game year after year. With Football Manager 2021 coming to Xbox later this year, there's no question which football game I'll be sinking hundreds of hours into. As ever, if there are any upcoming games you'd like me to review, please let me know.